Welcome to the Oxbridge Gateway UCAT introductory session. Here, I'm going to go over a few practice questions to get a feel for the test. The first section that we'll look at is decision making. As with any of the three cognitive sections, the format is a short problem with a simple multiple choice format. In this case, it is a logical exercise, but in the verbal reasoning, there will be a short paragraph, and in the quantitative section, there will be some maths problems or graphs to interpret. I'll give you a moment now to pause the video and have a quick go at this question. The question states that there is a school where students can take 3 different sports from a range of 6. Looking at the diagram below, it seems to be a somewhat complicated Venn diagram made up of different shapes to represent different sports. The question asks us to find the labelled intersection that is for pupils who box, do athletics, and swim. Looking at the key on the right, we can see that we need to find the overlap of the rotated parallelogram, the hexagon, and the triangle. If we look at the diagram, we can identify each one of these and find that they are overlapped around the letter M. So the correct answer here is option B. Note that this question is not particularly difficult logically. What is important is to stay relaxed and get through this question quickly. Any time banked here will allow for more time later on more tricky questions. Now let's take a look at the situational judgment test. The format is always similar, with the situation stated and then being asked to weigh up different considerations when assessing responses. We can rank them from very important all the way down to not important at all. Again, I'll give a moment to pause and give this a go. The scenario given here is a classical UCAT or interview situation. It tells us that a student has been found taking photos of human cadavers in a dissection room by another classmate. Importantly, the student who is taking photos is not a medical student and has gained access through deception. Not only is this a clear violation of ethics, it is also illegal. And whilst these specific facts are not given to you, they should either be known already or assumed from your prior knowledge. We now need to determine what factors are important when deciding whether to report this or not. The first factor is that the student, Kim, will be in a lot of trouble if reported. On one hand, this will have serious consequences, with Kim potentially being removed from the university. However, in undertaking this course of action, Kim both knew and took responsibility for the potential ramifications. The final consequences are ultimately down to the university, so this is not our responsibility either. Consequently, the correct answer is D, not important at all. A later question asks us the importance of Vinny being friends with Kim. This is a clear-cut example of where the application of ethics and legality should not be changed from student to student or person to person, depending on circumstantial relations. Again, the answer here is D, not at all. In both cases, the violation of trust and ethics is sufficiently grave that the situation must be reported, despite the downstream consequences. And these questions are assessing whether you can make that judgment, even if it leads to difficult decisions having to be made. I hope you found this useful, and if you're ready to come study with us, take a look at the options on the Oxbridge Gateway website.